I'm Mariam Namazi in Doha, and these are some of the main stories we're covering here on Al Jazeera. A report claiming two top Afghan cabinet ministers were guilty of corruption has been described as a misunderstanding. The names of the foreign minister and interior minister have now been taken off the list. It all comes 48 hours before the Afghan president Hamid Karzai is due to name his new cabinet. Now, some familiar obstacles over how to tackle climate change are surfacing again as the summit in Copenhagen draws to a close in the next 2 days. U.S. Foreign Secretary Hillary Clinton says the conference must agree clear targets on greenhouse gas emission cuts from both developed and big developing nations, as Jonah Hull explains.
Cuts from the developing economies like China, like India, like Brazil and South Africa that will, she said, be verifiable and transparent. Now, that has always been a key position of the United States. They're saying they're not prepared to move forward unless they see these big developing economies, the big polluters of the future, doing their bit. She reiterated the size of the cuts that are on the table from the United States. Cuts that we know are in line with legislation sitting in the Senate. She didn't give any indication that those cuts would be improved upon in the negotiations to come, and she said that the U.S. would be prepared to enter into a $100 billion fund by 2020 to mobilize funds to help poorer nations cope.
Sri Lanka will have its largest field ever for presidential elections next month. 22 candidates have been cleared to stand. They include the current President Mahinda Rajapaksa and former Army Chief Sarath Fonseka. Their rivalry is already dominating the campaign, as Al Jazeera's Minal Fernandez reports.
Now that the nominations process is over, campaigning will only intensify. Things have changed dramatically since May, when the President and his Army Chief praised each other's role in the crushing defeat of the Tamil Tigers. But in recent weeks, they've turned their guns on each other. Analysts warn that the battle for the presidency could be bitter and divisive.
And a major volcanic eruption in the central Philippines is likely to force tens of thousands of people to stay in temporary shelter for up to 4 months. Mayon has delivered 5 small explosions in the past 24 hours. But while many have already been evacuated from the danger zone, many more are staying put. Remember, you can find the latest and all those stories and more at aljazeera.net/English.